Today, we're taking a journey through time, all the way back to the creation of the 1-cent coin, and we'll explore how it has evolved into a powerful symbol of American currency. We're going to talk about the coin's historical significance, its design changes, how much it costs to make today, and even the rare pennies that are worth thousands, yes, thousands, of dollars. So, let's get started. Our story begins in 1792, when the newly formed United States needed a unified currency. The country was fresh off the heels of the American Revolution, and it didn't take long for leaders to realize that they needed a way to standardize money and fuel economic growth. The U.S. Mint was established in 1792, and the very first 1-cent coin was minted in 1793. This coin, known as the chain cent, wasn't like the small, copper penny we know today. No, this 1-cent coin was large, bulky, and made of pure copper. The wreath cent was smaller and more practical, but it was just the first of many design changes. In fact, over the next few decades, the penny would go through several redesigns to keep up with the nation's changing needs. By the mid-1800s, the U.S. was expanding rapidly, and with it came new coins. In 1856, a new design was introduced. The Flying Eagle cent. This penny, although much smaller than its predecessors, featured a majestic eagle in flight. It represented the ideals of the young nation, freedom, expansion, and hope. However, the Flying Eagle cent didn't stick around for long. Replaced in 1859 by the Indian head cent, this penny featured a Native American headdress worn by Lady Liberty. The Indian head cent is iconic. Its distinctive design would remain in circulation for over 50 years, becoming a beloved symbol of the American frontier. But as times changed, so did the design of the penny. By the early 1900s, it was time to honor one of the greatest figures in American history, President Abraham Lincoln. In 1909, the U.S. Mint introduced the Lincoln cent, which still exists today. To commemorate the 100th anniversary of Lincoln's birth, the Mint made history by putting a U.S. president's portrait on a coin for the first time ever. This was a groundbreaking moment in American coinage. Initially, the Lincoln cent featured a wheat penny design, with 2 ears of wheat on the reverse side. But by 1959, the reverse design was changed to feature the Lincoln Memorial, symbolizing Lincoln's enduring legacy. And that's how we got the familiar penny we all recognize to today. The 1-cent coin is still in circulation, but it's far from the same coin it was over 200 years ago. The coin has undergone numerous changes, but in 2010, it was redesigned with the shield cent reverse, which symbolizes the strength and unity of the United States. Even though the penny has survived through more than 2 centuries of history, it faces a major problem today. The cost of producing a 1-cent coin is actually more than its face value. In 2023, it cost the U.S. Mint approximately 2.1 cents to produce a single penny. That's right, a penny costs more to make than it's worth. So why does the U.S. still mint pennies? Well, they still play an important role in making exact change, particularly in cash transactions. However, there's an ongoing debate about whether it's time to phase out the penny altogether, especially considering the growing trend of digital payments. Though some countries, like Canada, have already discontinued their 1-cent coins, the penny is still deeply ingrained in American culture and currency. Its future remains uncertain, but as of now, it continues to circulate. Now, let's get into the really interesting part. Did you know that some pennies are worth way more than just 1 cent? While most of us toss pennies into change jars, there are some pennies out there that are worth thousands, or even millions of dollars. Let's take a look at some of the rarest and most valuable pennies. One of the most famous rare pennies is the 1943 copper penny. During World War II, the U.S. Mint switched to making pennies from steel to conserve copper for wartime efforts. But a small number of copper pennies were accidentally minted in 1943, and they're now worth a fortune. In fact, one of these copper pennies sold for $1.7 million. Another highly sought-after penny is the 1909 SVBB cent. This penny was minted in San Francisco and features the initials of its designer, Victor David Brenner, on the reverse side. Due to its limited production, it's one of the most valuable coins for collectors, with some in mint condition fetching tens of thousands of dollars. And then, there's the 1955 double die penny. This penny has a noticeable doubling effect on the date and lettering, a minting error that makes it one of the most famous and valuable coins in US history. Depending on its condition, it can be worth tens of thousands of dollars. So, the next time you spot a penny, don't just toss it aside. It could be a rare gem hiding in plain sight. With all of this talk about the penny's history, value, and rare treasures, the big question remains, what's the future of the 1-cent coin? As digital payments continue to rise and the cost of producing pennies skyrockets, many wonder if the penny will eventually disappear. Other countries, like Canada, the UK, and Australia, have already phased out their smallest denominations. The US is facing a similar debate, but for now, the penny remains a part of American life. So whether you love it or loathe it, the 1-cent coin has a fascinating history. From its creation in the late 18th century to its current status as a valuable collector's item in certain cases, the penny has come a long way. And while its future is still uncertain, one thing's for sure, the penny will always be a symbol of America's past, present, and future. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the 1-cent coin. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like